Hey guys, Valendu here. You all might know that the 200D from Canon is currently the most hyped DSLR. So let's know, is this any good?
I've gotta do, so I'm not crying.
So this is the Canon 200D or Rebel SL2, whatever it might be called in your country. Now the basic specifications of this camera are: this has a 24.2 megapixel CMOS sensor. It is not a full frame sensor for obvious reasons. Now it comes with two kit lenses. This is the standard 18 to 55, and I've got the double kit lens. So this is the 55 to 250, which is like a very big telephoto lens. Now this camera has a Digic 7 processor. This camera can record videos from 1080p till 60 fps at NTSC format and till 50 fps at PAL format. This camera comes at a price range for about 40,000 rupees. In India it would be around 550 or 600 US dollars. We'll be giving a link in the description so you can get links to buy this. Now let me give you its basic physical overview. Here is the HDMI in port, so you can connect a monitor, and the mini USB port, not micro USB. Here is the flip screen. It is a very good feature for a vlogging camera, as a flip screen is needed. Now coming to this side, you'll see the remote shutter port, so you can have a remote shutter plugged in, and the 3.5mm mic jack. Now the major reason for this camera's main highlighting point is having, at this budget, having a flip screen which helps in vlogging, plus a mic. So you can attach a Rode mic on top with this hot shoe and have a flip screen going on, so you can vlog perfectly with a Gorilla Pod in a Casey Neistat style. Now this camera has many modes. Let me get you through them in a quick way. Now let's start with the photo modes. There are various photo modes. So here is the manual mode where you can change a lot of settings. Let me see. Okay, let me adjust the brightness first. So I'll go to this function settings and LCD brightness. Okay, now it's adjusted. Now let me show you guys. So in such a mode you can change the ISO, the aperture and the shutter speed. So now this is aperture priority. So this mode is for getting those good bokeh shots. Now this is shutter priority, in which you can take some good flowing shots like these light trails and all. Now coming to this mode, this is the program AE, which gets you bright images like these. Now this is the intelligent auto, which is known as the basic auto mode. Now this is with the flash. So if you go this way, you'll see the without flash auto mode. Now over here you can come to creative auto, where you can get ton of filters like B&W and even fisheye and HDR. Now this is the special scene, so you can choose shooting scenes in which you are shooting the video, and this is again the creative filters, but here you can get variety of options which are tiny world and miniature effects, more like these. So here is the viewfinder. The basic weight of this camera is around 450 grams and it is quite transportable. Now over here you can have the battery, which is the standard 1040 mAh battery, this Canon one, and the SD card slot. Now this camera, these were all the specifications. Coming to the review. So now this camera is somewhat like a little brother to the Canon 80D, but with the great features. Now I forgot to mention that this has dual pixel AF, which is great for vlogging and even shooting some tech videos like we do. Now the highlighting feature on this camera is also its kit lens. Now if you buy a normal DSLR, you'll get a kit lens which is standard IS lens, but this is a STM lens. Now those of who you don't know that what is an STM lens, it is basically a stepping motor lens. So whenever you try to focus, it will be quite silent. Let me try and show you guys. Okay, so that was quite weird. So let me adjust the ISO and click a picture of Abhishek behind the camera. So there is minimum STM with noise when focusing with an STM lens. Now this camera can shoot up to 5 FPS. It's not a speed demon anyways, but at 5 FPS it's quite good. It's not comparable to the ultra high speeds, but let me go on to the drive mode and let me click. As you can see, it's not that much fast, but it is quite good for a beginner DSLR camera. And I guess you might be comparing this with the Canon 200D, but the 700D lacks some good focusing because it doesn't have dual pixel AF like the new 200D has. Now let me share some sample pictures along with the settings given along. The basic thing that makes it apart from the Sony cameras is that this has a touch screen. Now we know a major rival to the 200D would be the Sony a6000 that we are currently shooting with. Now let me click a picture of this flower and try to capture some good details and it's kind of a good image. Vivid. Now let me go on to basic mode. Okay. Now I'll be sharing these sample images with you guys, and let me also tell you guys that the video is quite good on this camera because Canon has a great color science, and in 1080p you get some great thing. Because it doesn't have slow-mo, you can still record at 60 FPS and slow it down during post-production. Now let me give you a video sample also. So these are the some points I need to mention about the Canon 200D or the SL2. Now starting with the battery life. The battery life on the 200D is quite decent and you can click around 500 to 550 shots. And for travel purposes, the camera would easily help you click throughout the day. But the small 1040 mAh battery, which is a native to the Rebel series, will be not enough if you want to shoot a lot of videos. So I suggest that you should buy another battery which would cost you another $50, which is around 32 Indian rupees. Now with another battery you'll get quite a lot of juice, and I think the battery life all over on the 200D is just decent. Now talking about kit lens. Now there are two kit lenses that I have purchased. One is the 18 to 55mm which I am currently shooting with, and this is the second one. This is the 55 to 250mm lens. Now this is a kind of a telephoto lens. Well, you can also get the 18 to 135 which will help you get 18 at the widest and at 135 which is quite narrowed down. Now the good point about these kit lenses along with the 200D is that they are STM lenses. For those of who you don't know what an STM lens is, it is basically a stepping motor which will help you focus quickly without making much noise. Now the focusing on these lenses is quite good. Now talking about upgradability, Then this camera has a APS-C size CMOS sensor, so basically you can fit any Canon lenses that you have lying around. So we'll also be linking down 3 of the best lenses for beginners that we recommend, and you should upgrade from the kit lens to those. Now talking about a considerably important point, focus. There are 9 autofocus points in this camera, which is good enough for beginners, and for the comparison between the competitors, the D3400 has around 11 autofocus points, but the Sony a6000 crushes it with 179 autofocus points. Now, the focusing on photos is quite good, and you can even use the manual photo ring, but now which makes the difference is a Canon special, the dual pixel AF, which can help you get some awesome smooth focusing in video. Now dual pixel AF is found on the bigger brother like the 80D, and this was earlier only special for the top cameras like the expensive ones, but now Canon has came with an aggressive thing, which is the dual pixel AF in these budget category cameras. The focus is smooth and quite great. Focusing from the face to an object is good, and according to me, this is truly a little brother to the 80D. Now I'll be talking about modes and menu. The camera has a variety of photography modes which are quite helpful, from aperture priority, which will help you click some good bokeh shots and all focus shots, and to various creative filter ones. In the creative filter you can get option to choose between the fisheye filters and HDR filters, which are basically inbuilt. Now the operation menu is quite user friendly on the 200D. This new redesigned menu is quite helpful if this is your first DSLR camera. Well, the 200D or the SL2 has a choice if you want to go back to the normal one, but I guess I will keep that as the main one, as it can help you understand with graphical representation, and overall it is quite user friendly as your first beginner DSLR. Now talking about camera speed. Well, the 200D is good enough for clicking fast moving objects and sports, as it has got 5 FPS, which is a great bump from the 3 FPS in the earlier native Rebel series. All the Rebel cameras like the T7i or the T6i had got the 3 FPS, but a 5 FPS is a quite good leap, and it can click RAW and JPEGs continuously at 5 FPS. Well, in the competition at Nikon D3400, it has also got 5 FPS, which is great, and for the price, I guess this is not a speed demon, but it can help you click those smooth moving objects quickly. Well, this is a small point, but it is worth considering while buying the 200D. Well, the 200D also has a mic jack, which can help you attach a shotgun or a wireless mic on top of your camera. Well, most of you might think it is a very small point, but well, if to receive some good audio, you got to need the mic. Now the inbuilt mic on the 200D, which is in the front, also performs good, but we suggest that if the camera has got a mic jack, you must connect a lapel mic or even a shotgun one. The 200D has also got the inclusion of Wi-Fi and NFC, which can help you easily transfer photos and videos directly to your phone. It will be using the Canon Camera Connect app. We'll be giving a link in the description if you want to download it on Android or iOS. Well, having NFC helps you to directly just touch the camera with your phone and directly transfers the photos and videos quite easily. And on a budget camera like this, it is a great inclusion, as you would directly click photos and post it on Instagram quite easily. Well, now talking about video, which is one of the most important points. The video this guy yields is also very good. It can record 1080p up till 60 FPS if you live in an NTSC following format country, and the video quality is very impressive for YouTube work and even budding cinematographers. I also suggest the 200D for vloggers as of the flip screen, lightweight, dual pixel AF, and inclusion of a mic jack. Well, the colors on this thing are pretty good because of the Canon color science. And if you want to judge the video quality on this thing, well, we are currently recording this video with the Canon 200D with the 18-55mm kit lens. Now coming to the end verdict. Well, dividing this between a photographer's point of view and a videographer's point of view, well, starting with the videographer, well, if you use a camera for YouTube purpose, then this camera be great. Whether you be a tech YouTuber or a vlogger, because of the flip screen, dual pixel AF and the mic jack, which are the awesome points that make the 200D so desirable. Although Canon isn't desirable as like Sony for video, but the 200D yields some great footage. Now talking about a photographer's point of view, with the lightweight of 450 grams and the basic modes and the great menu, it can be a great beginner photographer camera. Although if you have some great lenses lying around by Canon, then the photos will be amazing. Now I'll be ending this video with the pros and cons. Starting with the pros: dual pixel autofocus, Digic 7 processor, APS-C size CMOS sensor, not a micro four thirds one, so upgradability to further lenses is quite easy. Mic jack and flip screen, awesome photo and video quality, Wi-Fi and NFC for easy transfers, lightweight. Whereas the cons I noticed are no weather sealing like in the bigger brother 80D and a little less battery life. But you can get another battery, but I would have loved inclusion of a bigger battery in itself. So we think that Canon 200D is currently the best budget camera available right now, and hands down go for it today. This is all from my side. Stay geeky and peace.